Yo, this is your boy Kofi with KO Sports Talk, back at it with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about whether Russell Wilson will come to the Chicago Bears. Man, guys, it's been an interesting week so far, man. So, according to reports, um, Russell Wilson's desire is to play with the Seattle Seahawks. But according to Adam Schefter, um, it came from his agent that if Seattle was to trade Russell Wilson, these are some of his four destinations. One is the Las Vegas Raiders. Two is the Dallas Cowboys. Three is the New Orleans Saints. And of course, number four is yours truly, the Chicago Bears. So, today I'm going to be breaking down um, some key destinations and basically to see if this is a match with Russell Wilson. So, the first one I'm going to be talking about is, of course, the Las Vegas, not of course, but I'm going to be talking about his Las Vegas Raiders. So, with the Las Vegas Raiders, due to the whole situation with Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota, um, it seems like John Gruden um, at first wanted to move on from Derek Carr because John Gruden is trying to go younger. He's trying to look towards the draft, see if he can either keep Marcus Mariota or try to find a quarterback in the draft. But right now it just seems that the Las Vegas Raiders, they're really not going to be competing for a championship. They have a lot of young pieces. They have Max Crosby, who's a promising defensive end. Of course, you got Nick Kwiatkowski, my boy Nick Kwiatkowski, and who else? Clelin Farrell was also a pretty decent um, linebacker for the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, you got some of your weapons like Henry Ruggs and Josh Jacobs, who's starting to become more of a premier back, one of the best backs in the league so far. So, I mean, the Raiders, they don't seem like they're going to be competing because you're in the same division as, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers with Justin Herbert, who's really good. I think he was one of the best steals in the draft last year, 2020 draft. I think he's going to be a star. I think Justin Herbert is going to be a star. The second one I'm going to be talking about is the Dallas Cowboys. So with the Dallas Cowboys, their situation is kind of murky. Um, we know with Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones, um, he doesn't even know what he wants to do, whether he wants to keep Dak Prescott or not, because Dak Prescott is looking north of $40 million per year, at least maybe 5 to 6 years, $40 million per year. And with the way Dallas Cowboys are, they're really cash strapped. You know, Jerry Jones doesn't know what he wants to do. It seems like he's gonna franchise tag him, but if he franchise tags him, that's gonna be $37 million per year. We know that Dak Prescott's not gonna like that. But besides that, man, they really need help on their defense. Their defense is god awful, man. They were god awful last year. But I mean, they also had injuries too due to the whole COVID situation. A lot of injuries on their offensive line. They weren't really that great, and yeah, it's just the defense was just it was just terrible, man. You guys had DeMarcus Lawrence, you had Leighton Vander Esch. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't pressure the quarterback. Their secondaries was just either getting burnt or leaving their guys wide open, not communicating to their assignments. So, I mean, with the thing with Russell Wilson, I don't think it's going to be the same situation with the Seattle Seahawks. He's going to come into a team where they have a mediocre defense, but you have some really great receivers in Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. Those are two great receivers. But you don't want to have the same situation with the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks, they got playmakers. They got Tyler Lockett, and then of course they got DK Metcalf, and they got a solid run game. And you also got a coach in Mike McCarthy, who's pretty much a run heavy type coach. So it's gonna be like almost the same situation with how Pete Carroll runs his offense. And the third team I'm gonna go to is the New Orleans Saints. Now, the New Orleans Saints situation is kind of interesting because they already have a Super Bowl ready team. I mean, from top to bottom, I mean, we can go along the list with the running backs. Alvin Kamara, he's one of the top premier running backs in the league. Um, he's one of the top running backs that led in all-purpose yards in rushing and receiving. And what else? I mean, of course, they got Michael Thomas, um, one of the best running wide receivers in the league. Of course, Michael Thomas. I think he was like 2 years removed from breaking the record for all receptions in a year, 100 with 143. I mean, the guy is just a beast. It's just that he hasn't been staying healthy. Last year he wasn't too healthy, so he wasn't all that great. But I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back. Of course, you got Emmanuel Sanders. He's another great. Another good. What did I say? Great. He's good. He's a good wide receiver. He knows how to run those slot and those slant routes. But with him, he's kind of getting up in age. I think he's like 34. But other than that, he's a solid receiver. And what else? Their defense is good. Their offensive line is great. I mean, what can I say? The offensive line was one of the top five last year. So I mean, it's interesting. And of course, their defense was pretty good. Their defense was played solid last year. But the only thing is, the only downside with the New Orleans Saints is that they are too cash strapped. I mean, I think I looked over the New Orleans cap space, their cap situation, and right now the New Orleans Saints they're over, I believe, over $70 million over the cap. So that's going to be really tough, really, 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 really tough to get Russell Wilson to come to this team, even though they have a Super Bowl ready team, they have a Super Bowl ready defense, they have a Super Bowl ready offense, and even that, like, I don't know if they're really going to trade for him because they already said that they already like what they're seeing in Jameis Winston. So I'm thinking that Jameis Winston might be the starting quarterback by next year. And of course, I think the best situation for Russell Wilson to go to is the Chicago Bears. Where do I start? I mean, Chicago has been looking for a franchise quarterback, shoot, ever since the existence of the NFL, like over 100 years ago. They've never really had a franchise quarterback other than Sid Luckman, who played in the 1940s. I mean, he was decent, but he was a good quarterback in his time. But we're trying to look for that modern day quarterback. We're talking about Super Bowl era. Um, During the Super Bowl era, that the Bears are trying to look for a quarterback. I mean, if you look down the list, I mean, can you name a quarterback that's great other than Sid Luckman that the Bears had that was great? I mean, Jim McMahon had one good year with the Bears in '85. He wasn't even that great. I mean, he had like 11 touchdowns and 16 interceptions that year, and his completion percentage was like 58 to 59%. Rex Grossman, let's not even get into that with the whole Super Bowl. I mean, he had a good stretch for the first 5 to 6 games. He was playing at an MVP level, and after that, like he was just really up and down. Especially that Super Bowl. Like that Super Bowl, They didn't run the ball much, and they're pretty much putting the game in Rex Grossman's hands. And y'all already saw the result. The Bears lost. And you had Cutler. You know, we had him for 8 years. Yeah, about 7 or 8 years. And right now, Cutler is, statistically speaking, the best quarterback that we've had in our history, which is pretty telling and which is really sad. You know, I mean, Cutler really had 1 or 2 great years with the Bears. 1 in 20, wait, really only one great year, to be honest, which is really 2010. And that year, I mean, like, even during that championship season or that championship game, he got injured notoriously. No, he only had really 2 good seasons, 2010 and 2012. But yeah, other than that, Cutler, he wasn't really that great for us. I mean, he didn't have that mentality. He didn't have that type of leadership. He had the talent, he had the arm talent. The man could sling a ball. Like he had that gunslinger arm. But the only thing is that he couldn't will his team to win. And that's what the Bears are looking for. This is a blue collar city. The moment Russell Wilson steps into this stadium, the moment he steps into Soldier Field, he would already be the best quarterback that we've ever had. I mean, check the stats. Check this past season. 40 touchdowns, 4,200 yards, over 68% completion percentage. That's more than what we ever had out of any quarterback in our own history. So just imagine him playing Soldier Field, 40 degrees out. He throws 3 to 4 touchdowns against the Green Bay Packers. Just imagine that. Russell Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers. That'll be the prime time event. Everybody will want to go and see that game. And Russell Wilson would turn around this franchise, and he would turn this franchise around. Like literally, he would flip this franchise upside down with the flip of a basket. And I think this would be the great situation for Russell Wilson, in my opinion. A lot of people saying, "Oh, we don't have no shot of getting Russell Wilson. Oh, we don't have no shot of getting Russell Wilson." Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I don't care what any of you guys say that we don't have a shot. I looked on Twitter. I looked on YouTube. I don't care what any of you guys say. The Bears have a shot. The Bears are one of 4 teams. This was according to Adam Schefter. The Bears were one of 4 teams that Russell Wilson would love to go to. I mean, guys, be optimistic. We have a 25% shot of getting Russell Wilson. I mean, wouldn't you want him in a Bears uniform? He would instantly make us Super Bowl contenders. Like, he would instantly make us Super Bowl contenders. My dream is to, before I die, I want to see the Chicago Bears win a Super Bowl. I've seen them go to a Super Bowl, but I've never seen them hoist that trophy. And I want to see it before I die. I've seen all the other Chicago sports teams win the championship, but I've never seen the Chicago Bears win a Super Bowl. And this is one of my favorite teams, man. I grew up watching the Bears since I was like 5 or 6 years old. And I love this team. I really do. But it's just, man, just the management have just kept on failing us and failing us over and over again. And Ryan Pace, let me tell you something. You better do everything in your power to call Seattle to see what they want for a trade for Russell Wilson. You got to do everything in your power because you're really fighting for your job. You can't afford to get even though I like it. I mean, I would want them to get Mac Jones, but this is a Super Bowl ready defense, a defense that's ready to win. This defense is ready to win. And you cannot drop the ball on this. You cannot afford to drop the ball on this. You have to do whatever in your power to call Seattle, be the first one to call them, and see what they want for Russell Wilson. If it's more than three Sorry, I can't talk right now. But if it's more than 3 first-round picks, okay, maybe you want to hang up the phone. But if it's 2 first-round picks, maybe a third, or maybe one of our young players, like a Jalen Johnson, okay, I'll take that deal in a heartbeat. But you got to do whatever you can. You got to make that phone call, Pace. You got to make that phone call because this is your last shot. This is your last shot to prove Bears Nation that you are serious about winning. This is a last chance to right your wrong by not choosing Deshaun Watson and picking Mitchell Trubisky. And this is your shot to win over the Chicago Bears. All right, guys, man, that's my video, and I hope you guys take it easy. All right, peace. I'm out.